Oklahoma State settled in along with all of the other teams and competitors for the 2019 NCAA Wrestling Championships in Pittsburgh. This is an old-school, tough guy town that takes well to hosting a tough guy event like the NCAA Wrestling Championships, set to play in front of 6 sold-out sessions over the 3 days from Thursday through Saturday night in the finals. You can see all of it on ESPN, whether streaming on ESPN3, the morning sessions each day on ESPNU, or the evening sessions on ESPN. Tournament schedule. The NCAA Championships are divided into 6 sessions over 3 days of competition. Thursday's slate begins at 11 a.m. CST, with Friday and Saturday's action starting at 10 a.m. Below is a look at the full schedule. Every match is streamed on ESPN3. Thursday, March 21st, 12 p.m. East, 11 a.m. CST, Session I, televised on ESPNU, 7 p.m. East, 6 p.m. CST, Session 2, televised on ESPN Friday, March 22nd, 11 a.m. East, 10 a.m. CST, Session 3, televised on ESPNU, 8 p.m. East, 7 p.m. CST, Session IV, televised on ESPN Saturday, March 23rd, 11 a.m. East, 10 a.m. CST, Session V, televised on ESPNU, 7 p.m. East, 6 p.m. CST, Session V, televised on ESPN. The Cowboys matches in the tournament will all be carried live on the Cowboys radio network. Rex Holt and Roger Moore will be live on the call in Pittsburgh, and fans can listen live on 93.7 KSPI-FM or okstate.com. Wednesday's press conference featuring the top coaches in the event, including Oklahoma State head coach John Smith. Smith was asked again about the Cowboys' injuries and juggled lineup that eventually caused the late-season ranking matches in the wrestling room between two-time All-Americans and senior Chandler Rogers and junior Joseph Smith that ended up with Smith winning the first 2 out of 3 and going to the postseason while Rogers' career ended. "We at one time really thought everybody would stay up, and we thought Preston Weigel would be out for the season," Smith said of the lineup and the 197-pound wrestler that is seated third at the event. "And just a miraculous recovery that he had. All of a sudden in February he's back. And we didn't plan on that." Smith expressed the same opinion that he did back at home in Stillwater, that the rules for cutting weight for wrestlers can be limiting in what you can do in that situation. Smith is a proponent of looking those rules over and maybe making some adjustments or changes when it comes to postseason. "Unfortunately, the rules that are in place today didn't really acknowledge some of those challenges that coaches have with weight issues, with guys getting injured, moving guys around, trying to fill a team," Smith continued. "We like to win dual meets, so we're going to try to put our best team out. Maybe, in the future we can consider the challenges coaches have with injuries and moving guys around. But honestly, it was a tough year and tough decisions at the end." All of the coaches were asked about wrestlers that have had interesting roads in their career, roads with twists and turns. Like in all college sports, the frequency of athletes transferring was brought up, as was the 9.9 scholarships that wrestling gets for its programs, despite needing a minimum of 10 wrestlers in the lineup and most teams having rosters of 30 to 35 athletes. John Smith spoke of 3 seniors that fit the bill on those issues or similar circumstances. "I have several," Smith started, "of athletes that have traveled varied roads. Derek White, our heavyweight, his journey has been interesting. Went to Nebraska, didn't work there for him, and ended up walking on Oklahoma State. And 2 of his 3 years was a walk-on. This was his first year he's ever really, where we had the opportunity to give him money. He's been a nice story from the standpoint of didn't know if he was going to finish his career in the sport, to hear he's ranked number 1 in the country as a senior in likely his final tournament." Smith spoke of his junior college transfer that is a 7th seed at 174 pounds and also, because of injuries to other wrestlers, wrestled 2 different weights this season. Jacob Smith, another Oklahoma boy from Muskogee and Neoway, Weigel's found himself back in the lineup for his senior year. "And so it's pretty exciting. My seniors have gone through some different challenges. And for my seniors, they've gone through the challenges and really been true leaders. especially this season as we've gone through a lot of injuries. These guys really stepped up." The Cowboys heavyweight White agreed with Smith that his decision to transfer back home, as he is originally from Edmond North High School, was a good call. "As a competitor, you've got to do whatever is best for you," White said during the wrestler's press conference. "I actually transferred from Nebraska to Oklahoma State, and that was probably the best thing I could have done." White also took some questions that I really wish the media in Pittsburgh had asked John Smith, because with all Smith has been through the past several weeks, from the lineup juggling to the ranking match, leaving two-time All-American Chandler Rogers out of the lineup, to losing his hero and father in Leroy Smith. The funeral was last Friday, March 15th. Smith has been through an emotional grinder, so if someone had asked him, it's kind of assumed that Penn State will win the team title. Oklahoma State is one of those that can threaten. Is that something you guys talk about? Is that something you guys are working toward? That question was asked to Derek White. Smith's answer would have been more interesting. Yes, Penn State is favored to have 4 or 5 individual champions and win the team competition for their 4th straight team national championship, but no Oklahoma State wrestler is going to concede, especially Smith, and on the record, not Derek White. "We're not really worried about that," answered White with an expression of disgust. "Anything can happen this weekend. So, like I said earlier, take it one match at a time and wrestle to us. That's all I've got."